Welcome everyone to this webinar. I'm Nadia Gulko, a senior lecturer and the program leader of the MSc Governance degree at the Lincoln International Business School at the University of Lincoln. The aim of this webinar is to give you an overview of our new MSc Governance degree. So, in this webinar we'll consider who is this program for, why is governance so important, why to choose this program. We'll consider the program structure, the key features, entry requirements, but also I will talk about multiple entry routes to working professionals. And we'll finish on what is the future of corporate governance. So, who is it for, our program? This program was designed to appeal to a variety of different applicants across different sectors. So it can be of interest to undergraduate students from any discipline, but also it can be of interest to working professionals, for example, to accountants, to solicitors, to lawyers, but also to those who work directly in governance, for example, for company secretaries. So in order to understand this program, we need to understand why is corporate governance so important? What is governance? Governance is the system by which an organization is directed and controlled. So governance is about setting framework for managing a company. It is about decision making, it is about sustainability, it is about ethical corporate values. And it is about dynamics and effectiveness within a company. So from prior research and, of course, real-life examples, we know that good governance practices can lead to better financial performance. But what if there is a failure of governance? We know that many stakeholders are likely to suffer, including employees within these organizations. Therefore, poor governance practices can have a detrimental effect and impact on our society. So the global financial crisis, different corporate scandals, and the public concern over the apparent lack of effective boards have all contributed to an explosion of interest in good governance practices. However, it is not just about public events, past events. It is not just about something what happened during the financial crisis. Governance is very much relevant to the 21st century. It is relevant today, it will be relevant tomorrow. And of course we are all touched by different events happened across the world. And instantly through our personal contacts or through public media. And all news travel fast and faster, and it is more open and transparent today. So if we think about reputation, reputation can take years to build up, but it's very difficult. It's very easy to, we can see many times when the reputations of organizations being tainted by bad governance, by bad ethical practices, by disrespect to environment, with serious consequences to our society. And particularly to those who are employed within companies. We can think of examples like BHS, for example, and various other examples as well. So all of these events, in many cases, could have been avoided by good governance practices. So, okay, we know that governance is important, but the most important question is how to increase awareness about governance amongst individuals within our society at all levels. So, not surprisingly, the answer is seemingly simple, but the answer is quite challenging because we need to embed a good governance culture within every organization in our society. So why choose this MSc degree? I would like to answer to this question by exploring a very simple but very challenging question indeed. So who's responsible for good governance? And I would like to share with you the answer to this question provided by one of the interview participants from a series of video interviews that introduces the views and experiences of different academics, practitioners, researchers in corporate governance. So Mark Whedon worked at the University of Lincoln for 5 years as a senior lecturer, and he's a director of MSc Governance. He is also a non-executive director in 2 boards and chairman of the ACSA Global Forum for Governance. So I asked Mark Whedon, who's responsible for good governance?
Every organisation needs to care about corporate governance because it sits at the very heart of its structure. It runs through every aspect, through every vein of that organisation. Imagine in your minds an image of the human body. Not the skeleton, but the heart with the veins. Imagine that image. Imagine all of those connections. Imagine everything going down to the tip of your fingers, to the tip of your toes. That blood coursing around that body, pumped by the heart. That epitomises corporate governance. Like the human body, when it works really well. When it fails, totally or in part, then it causes problems. So, who's responsible for corporate governance? The textbook answer is usually the board of directors. And yeah, that's technically true. No argument with that. It is the board of directors who are empowered to govern, who are empowered with governance oversight. But to be really effective, governance requires a much wider understanding and participation throughout an organisation. The simple answer then, and it's not just a flip answer, the simple answer is everyone in an organisation, in some way or other, has some responsibility for the governance of that organisation.
So governance is about us. And I took this quote from a recent book from Mark Whedon. So let's talk about our structure of our program. So our program is structured with a focus on practical application in the business environment, and it aims to provide students with a strong subject knowledge and the latest thinking in the core areas a governance professional should be aware of. So governance module, for example, will provide you with knowledge about good concept and governance principles in both national and international concepts. So this module will evaluate governance challenges across the corporate and non-for-profit and public sectors. And this module also aims to equip you with the skills to provide professional opinion on matters of corporate governance. Our corporate and business law module, in this module you will learn about corporate and business law with an emphasis on the public and private registered company. Financial reporting and analysis module, this is not about accounting, this is about understanding of preparation, presentation and critical analysis of financial statements and reports for single and group companies that any governance professional should understand and be aware of. And to continue with this finance route, our next module in this area is financial and management decisions. So this module recognizes the different types of decisions that managers are required to make and considers how financial and management accounting information can be used in support of these decisions. So the practical side of the module will extend to the role of accounting software and different enterprise research planning systems in cybersecurity and also in decision making. One of our interesting modules is organizational and board effectiveness. This module is run by a practitioner and examines the promotion of good corporate governance across an organization, irrespective of sector. The module considers how an organization can measure its efficiency and effectiveness both internally and externally. For example, through its strategy, through decision making, people, through work process, systems, and also its culture. Another interesting module is sustainability reporting and business ethics. We know that the issues of sustainability are more critical than ever, and sustainability is no longer about risk and compliance. The question of whether companies should consider sustainability of their practices has no longer the key challenge. The key challenge today has moved from whether to how. Companies are concerned with how to integrate corporate social responsibility into day-to-day management decisions, or how to be socially responsible, how to engage corporate stakeholders more effectively, how to achieve excellence simultaneously in social, in environmental, and also financial performance. So in this module we will explore current issues and best practices in sustainability and integrated reporting. Lincoln International Business School is part of a network of corporates and educational institutions who support and promote ethical business practices. And the business ethics element on our program was designed in collaboration with the Institute of Business Ethics London, enhancing this practical application of knowledge. We aim to develop students as future business leaders, managers, accountants, auditors, finance professionals or governance professionals who understand and appreciate the importance of going beyond numbers and supporting good ethical business practices to help companies to sustain long-term success. Another module which is called strategic thinking. It is not about strategy, it is about strategic thinking. And this is our unique module that applies strategic thinking to different areas studied on the program. Lack of strategic thinking has been repeatedly identified as a major weakness in organizations, where business leaders often rely on past experience and best practice, ignoring creativity and imagination. And this module explores how individuals and organizations anticipate and shape the future to create a competitive advantage. This module will combine traditional teaching with examples of practical application of strategic thinking provided by external visiting speakers. And then at the final stage of our program, students will undertake a compulsory element, research methods and design, and final project. Students will have the opportunity to put their skills, and this is one of our key features, they will have the opportunity to put their skills into practice by taking on a client-based project. And this is as an alternative to the traditional dissertation, subject to approval. So this client-based project can be available to working professionals who have access to an organization to apply their academic knowledge to real-life business organization based on their companies. So what are the key features of our program? So of course, the main feature is that our program is fully accredited by the ICSA, the Governance Institute. And obviously, we have done this and we are very proud to have this collaboration with the Governance Institute, because this will reflect on the challenging, complex natures of the modern business environment. So students completing our master's degree will be awarded with the ICSA, graduate ICSA status, and this is a joint award. And so students with this grad ICSA award who would like to apply for a chartered membership, they will need to demonstrate 3 years of professional experience. Very important that pre-degree experience counts towards that. So, of course, it can be useful, this qualification and joint degree and qualification can be useful to working professionals to potentially open new career prospects or to increase their chances for promotion. But for those who didn't work in practice before, this joint degree and the governance qualification should improve their career prospects in the field. Another distinctive feature of our program is that this program also provides the opportunity to increase awareness about governance of information, about cybersecurity, about risk management, information technology in relation to ethics, finance, etc. So all themes which are increasingly important in the current world. And a thread running through all core modules will be relevant to cybersecurity and governance information, covering different aspects of that. In addition to 7 core modules, our students will have the opportunity to select one optional module to satisfy their specific interests. And this is an indicative list for our next academic year, 2018-19. So you can see different areas like teams and leadership, human resource management, investment banking, supply strategies, and entrepreneurship. But also, for those students who are interested to continue studying cybersecurity and governance of information, they will have the opportunity to select an optional module called Cybersecurity in Society. And this module is in collaboration between the Lincoln International Business School and the School of Computer Science. So, entry requirements. For standard routes, for standard full-time students, applicants from all backgrounds are welcome to apply. Both relevant and non-relevant. So as a minimum, you need to have two honours degree and at least grade C in mathematics, GCSE mathematics. However, for qualified professionals, we offer multiple entry routes, and qualified professionals can be might be interested in different module exemptions based on professional experience or professional qualifications. So just as an indication for you, we offering accelerated route and membership route. So for example, if you are an accountant, a lawyer, or a company director, or a company secretary, etc., you might be interested to apply for module exemptions, and this will be assessed on an individual basis based on your individual experience and your individual professional qualifications. For international students, we require IELTS 6.0 with all elements 6.0. However, for those students who do not meet this criteria, the university offers this excellent pre-sessional English academic course, so you can complete this course in order to satisfy English language requirements. So, what is the future of corporate governance? And I asked Professor Jeffrey Ridley, our visiting professor in corporate governance and assurance at the University of Lincoln. I asked this question: what is the future of corporate governance?
I've now been working for 70 years, and I've seen many changes in the way in which we operate in organisations, and the way in which governments operate, and the way in which the world has become a very much smaller part of our lives. How we travel, the technology of what we use, and the values that we use in our lives. As academics and as students, we all have a responsibility to ensure that the future of corporate governance, or should I say the future of governance, not just of corporate governance, it operates well for ourselves and for our families and for the many future generations that will follow. So good corporate governance is not just about organisations, it's about us and how we live and how we survive.
So I would like to finish this webinar on this slide. So the future is purchased by the present. And we look forward to meeting you at the University of Lincoln in September. And I'm happy to take any questions.
So we have our first question. What are the career prospects for anyone undertaking the MSc Governance programme?
I think our graduates have very good career prospects. First, of course, because our graduates will have an MSc degree and also a governance qualification, and this should increase your career prospects significantly. And so our graduates, because our program was designed to appeal to a variety of audience, not only to those working directly in governance profession, so you can enter employment in a variety of areas like accountancy, law, finance, governance, etc.
So the next question, what is the teaching like on the MSc Governance programme?
Our lecturers are normally qualified accountants, academics, governance practitioners or researchers, and we aim to combine traditional teaching with different interactive activities. So you will be able to explore different case studies, to be involved in different presentations. In small groups we will, and of course in all our modules, we will extensively utilize real-life examples, because this program is not just about theory, it's about practical application. This is why we will, in small groups, we will discuss different real-life examples. We will try to develop your critical analysis skills to equip you with these practical element skills required to enter different job prospects.
And then the final question that we've got, how is the programme assessed?
That's an interesting question. We have a variety of different assessments on this programme, both individual and group related. So we will have assignments, we will have case studies, we'll have different reports, some examination elements also will be on the programme. On one module, on organizational and board effectiveness, you will have group presentation. This is very important in this module. So yes, you will have a variety of different assessments on this program.
it. That's the last question. Thank you very much, Nadia.
Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, just please email me. You have contact details on the screen.